Hey, Siva.
Hi, Kathleen. Good afternoon. How are
Hey, how
you?
are you?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm good. I am hosting one of the HIC interviews on my phone and then one here on my computer, so that's why I've kind of been back and forth.
All right, okay.
The team just wrapped up an interview right before this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is just a screening.
Not screening, like I have an interview has been scheduled with Alex Leal.
Oh, okay. He's wrapping up on this interview right now.
Okay.
For a different module.
Okay.
You recruitment and onboarding. He literally just told me this morning he needs a really strong recruitment and onboarding person.
All right, okay.
So this is exciting. Okay, let me go ahead and add Jonas in. Hey, Jonas. Alex is wrapping up another call right now, and then he'll be here.
Okay.
But hi. If y'all want to go ahead and get started, I know Alex is wrapping up shortly. If y'all want to go ahead and get started, or if y'all want to wait a minute, it's totally up to you. But Siva, the HISD team is going to be conducting today's interview. So
Okay.
Whenever they're ready, they'll kick it off. Best of luck. You're going to do great. And whenever y'all are ready, y'all can take it away.
Let's give Alex a couple of minutes.
Okay. Hi there.
Hi, Naya. Hi. How are you? How are you all?
How are you? Siva, we're good.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you.
Irene, Stephanie, y'all want to take it?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, Alex is here.
How you doing?
Hey, Alex. Hey, how are you?
Good. Let me catch up a minute. I got a little legwork to do. Give me about 60 seconds.
Oh, that's okay.
I just while Alex is getting ready, just for your information, we currently have SAP, and we are moving to Fusion from the SAP environment. So we have a lot of people here that know the business, and developers here that know how to program, but we are not Fusion ready, and so we're hiring consultants to help us through the process, and so we're looking for help in this case for the recruiting area. So that's what they'll be asking you questions today, Alex. So hopefully you're going to take over.
Let me start with something simple. So when was the last time you implemented Oracle recruiting or the recruiting module?
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Go
Okay.
ahead. If you said something I didn't hear before that.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. Shall I start briefing about myself?
Yeah. Start bragging about. Start talking about your last time you worked on recruiting.
Like in Oracle Cloud, I have 7.5 years of experience. Like overall experience is 20 years, and I have worked in on-prem, and for the past 7.5 years in Oracle Fusion HCM. I have worked almost for 5 implementation end-to-end projects. In that, like all the 5 projects, I've worked in Oracle Recruiting Cloud, which is my key area. So apart from Recruiting Cloud, I have worked in HR absence, payroll, a little bit on talent and time and labor. But my key area is, of course, recruiting and onboarding. So
Beautiful. Okay, so take us through like what you would if you came in here, whatever, next week, a month from now, and you know that all we know is SAP, and we're very familiar with SuccessFactors recruiting. but we don't know Oracle. How would you go about gathering the information you need from us? You know, creating a prototype. You know, getting data over, and then setting everything. What would an implementation? What would be your approach in the different steps, including the setups that you have to do in the application?
I usually start with writing the business case. Like what are all the key requirement which we need in order to implement HCM Cloud. So apart from that, I start with preparing the as-is document, which is current as-is state. Like what I usually do is, like, say for example, if you're moving from SAP HCM to Oracle Cloud HCM, then what I'll do is, like, I've just design, analyze the current process and analyze the workflow, and like I also identify the gap. What are all the gaps? What are all the critical feature available in SAP HCM, and how can we achieve this in Oracle HCM Cloud? So all these things I'll capture or I'll design in the as-is document. We usually call it as identifying the gaps. So first I'll try to analyze the gap. Then of course, usually if we implement for any educational institution, we usually have decades of historical record, which we have. Most of them are complex or secured. So what we usually do is, like, I prepare a design document for each and every module. Then, like, for example, if you take payroll as an example, in payroll, we have all the complex data or complex calculation, detections, all those things. During data migration, we have to be very careful, because it has to comply with the tax information. Like, if there is any misconfiguration during data migration, then this will result in paying the wrong calculation, and it will lead to pay invalid tax filing and penalties, all these things. So always make sure, during data migration, always give one step forward, and to give more importance for data migration and during the configuration. Then I sit with the stakeholders, IT team, finance team, to understand the current business process of the current system. Then I go ahead and prepare the design document. Before that, I have to attend the workshop. In the workshop, I'll try to understand the system of the current system and prepare the questionnaire based on the current system. Then I discuss. I usually have a meeting with the stakeholders, IT team, to gather the requirement for each and every module. With respect to, say for example, if you take Oracle Recruiting Cloud, in most of the education institution, they'll have a full-time faculty, temporary faculty, part-time faculty, and professors, unified workers. So for all these employees and co-workers, we have to create a recruiting type, and once that is done, and before we hire an employee, this will get integrated with the HR, and we pull the employees or candidates from the HR system. So then, once they are converted, then before that, we pre-board the employee, and once that is done, once they are onboarded, they have to perform certain tasks. Then, of course, this is the process for ORC, and of course, I have to design the design document with the help of the requirement which I gathered. Conduct multiple CRP session. Then, of course, conduct the UAT. For UAT, I have to prepare the user manual document. Then, of course, once that is done, then of course we have to prepare the testing document. And after go live, we have to provide the future business process model document to the stakeholders and the customers.
Okay. Can you explain how you set up job requisition templates in Oracle?
Yeah, job requisition template in Oracle Cloud is we create, if it is a job-based, if the customer is a job-based customer, then I have to go for a job requisition template, which will have all the details which are not there in the job. Say, for example, in the job requisition detail, we have to provide the hiring manager and the hire recruiter name detail and all the additional details. Then of course organization name, and if we need job family, that we have to attach that in the job requisition template. Then whether he or she is an exempt or non-exempt. So all these things, these are some of the mandatory details which we usually provide while creating the job requisition template.
Okay. How do you set up and manage candidate pools? Pools of candidates. Have you done that?
Sorry?
Have you ever set up like candidate
Yes.
pools of candidates?
Yeah, like here in Recruiting Cloud, like we have various different roles. One is a recruiter, recruiting manager, candidate, agent, recruiting administrator, so all these things. So candidate usually sourced by the agent using agent login. Like they usually go and search or source for the candidate, and that candidate will be attached to a particular requisition by either by the recruiter or the hiring manager. So what will happen is, like, once you create a requisition, that will go for approval. So once it has been approved, or you can even do bypass, like once it is approved, the hiring manager will do all the job formatting, and what they will do is they will attach this candidate, whether he's an external or internal. If it is an external candidate, like we have to create an external candidate, that particular candidate we have to attach to a particular requisition. So what will happen is, once the recruiter posts the requisition, the employee, the external employee will get an email verification saying that, like, to apply for the position. So what the external candidate will do is he'll apply for the job, and he'll submit. If it is internal candidate, so we in the system, like we have something called opportunity marketplace, where the employee will have access to that opportunity marketplace, and he can apply for the job.
Okay. When employees, so is there a way to set up? So one of the things we've had problems with in the past here, we've had a couple different softwares in the last, I don't know, 5, 7, 8 years, whatever. We've had Apple Track, we use SuccessFactors, and one of the challenges that some of the and Eightfold is when an applicant applies, a lot of times they apply for one. They can only apply for one job at a time, and then they got to apply for a second job, and it's kind of tedious. Is there a way in Oracle Fusion to apply for, you go in, you fill out some base information, and then you click and apply for 4 or 5 jobs at one time without having to go back through a whole cycle? Is there a way to do that in Oracle? And if there is, have you done it?
Yeah, actually here, like one candidate can apply for a multiple job. And we have a feature in Oracle Recruiting Cloud, which is the latest feature. Like I recommended that feature to our client, and they have implemented that. We have something called Gen AI. Another one is Recruiting Booster. So using this, where the recruiters or the candidates can apply multiple job in the sense, he can search for similar jobs. Say, for example, say a candidate is applying for Cloud HCM or SAP HCM SuccessFactor. So he will get all the similar requisition, all the similar job in his account, whereas he can just directly go and apply for them, like rather than searching them in the filter. So these things we can do in Recruiting Cloud. An applicant can apply for a multiple job at the same time.
I'm glad you brought up Recruiting Booster because we bought that. So you have experience implementing Recruiting Booster?
Recruiting Booster, yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, Recruiting Booster is almost similar to Gen AI, like where, like, for recruiting and time and labor. So all these things we have that, like, where the candidate can search for a similar kind of jobs using the Recruiting Booster. It's just an add-on module which comes with a recruiting module. Like there, the candidate or any internal employee can go ahead and apply for jobs.
Okay, so you've actually implemented it at a client?
Yeah, we implemented Gen AI.
Okay. How about workflows? Like, have you configured like candidate management workflows?
Yeah, it all depends upon the requirement. Like I have for Recruiting Cloud designed approvals for creating requisition and for offer, creating offer and approving the offer. Like we have various level, for approvals, like, for creating the requisition. Once you create a requisition, and it will go to multiple level. So for that, we have there is a concept called area of responsibility. So we can attach area of one area of responsibility you can attach to many approvers. So what will happen is that area of responsibility which we have created, that we have to use while designing the approval. So what will happen is it will go the approval will trigger to the various level whoever has that area of responsibility.
Okay. Hey, by the way, I meant to ask you, you're available to come here, right, and work from Houston?
Yeah. Being a consultant, I should be ready to relocate anywhere,
Okay. Where do you live now?
Yeah, I live in Ohio.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that on, I think Caitlin and Pat.
And weather is
Okay.
weather is good as well in Houston.
Not in the summer. It's pretty hot, but
Yeah, it's very hot,
it's for-
but it's good in winter. Like winter, it'll be very cold.
Yeah. Our winters are very mild.
Yeah.
That's my daughter's up in New York, and she comes down in the winter sometimes. Okay, tell me a little bit about have you configured best practices for configuring like interview management, managing interviews? Some of the things you've seen that have been like best practices that you've configured.
But not specific to interview for the candidate selection process. We have the process like new screening, interview and selection, offer and HR. For offer and HR, we cannot change anything. So I have automated this process. Once a candidate get into the candidate selection process, so we have to automate something so once he is done with the screening, he has to undergo the background check, and the requirement is something like whether after finishing the screening or before. So all these things I have automated using a fast formula. We have a predefined condition for each and every state. So there I configured this. So these are the best practices, and I suggested my client to go for automation. So which will be very it will be the process is being streamlined, and it was very easy for the recruiters as well as hiring manager to conduct the entire process.
Okay. Have you configured automated emails to candidates and hiring managers?
Yeah, we have something called recruitment content library. So that is specifically for automating any functionality. Say for example, if a candidate needs to get receive a notification, we can do that using recruitment content library. And also for offer letter, to automate the process, we can use this functionality called recruitment content library. So there are various features, not only this, there are various things we can automate using recruitment content library.
Okay, have you ever configured integrations with a background
Yes.
vendor?
That is
Tell me.
one such thing is that integrated LinkedIn, and of course background verification, and of course Microsoft 365. So we have something called recruitment enterprise configuration. So there we have to go and provide the account information for Microsoft 365 as well as LinkedIn if you want to integrate with LinkedIn or any third party integration. So we have to go and provide the account information in that particular area to integrate or anything to automate.
Okay. One of the things that I think is going to be tricky for us, and depending on when we go live, is we'll be in Eightfold and SuccessFactors, and when we cut over, there'll be candidates that have applied that are in midstream, right? Maybe interviewing. Do you have experience migrating data, like candidate data, requisition data from a legacy system to Oracle?
Yeah, not only candidate and requisition data, because HR is the base for any module, in HCM Cloud. So I've worked in migration on for all the almost for all the modules: HR, payroll, absence, of course, recruiting. For recruiting, again, all the candidate information, then requisition, then application detail. So all those things, and of course, security detail, like all the roles. So those things have done.
Okay. Well, I've asked a lot of questions, and I like your answers, by the way. But let me give the rest of the team a chance to ask some questions.
Okay, sure, thank you.
Hi, I'm Charlotte. One of our challenges is Social Security numbers. Does Oracle hold the Social Security numbers when an applicant or a candidate applies?
Migrating the social security number.
Not necessarily migrating. So what we do is when we have a candidate, we require that they provide us their Social Security number.
Yes, correct.
Which we are right, in which we process, we do run a soft background check, as well as check their certifications for teachers.
Yeah.
So what we ran into before is we had to get a third party platform, which is AFO. And once we went to AFO, we was identified that they do not hold a Social Security number in the application process. And so I'm not sure if Oracle has that ability to capture that Social Security number.
Social security number, like here, like we have that we can restrict as well as for the candidate information, like like we have something called a descriptive flex field. What it does is it captures the additional information. So whenever candidate apply for a job or apply for a position, so he can provide the social security number. Whereas, like if you want, you can still restrict. You can make it like you can restrict from viewing the social security number of candidate. Like we have something called Visual Builder Studio in Oracle HCM Cloud. So using that, we can customize this. Like,
So, a quick follow up to that one. So, do you know if so it sounds like you can do it via flex field, but do you know if it's actually an actual field delivered? And the only reason I'm asking, and I don't know this about Oracle, but sometimes there's like HIPAA type functionality in software that makes sure that it secures certain fields, and Social Security would be one of them. So do you know if the recruiting module out of the box has a Social Security number that can be captured when an applicant applies, or would you have to do that through a flex field?
yeah, that's what, like we don't have a standard feature, like we don't have standard functionality to provide the social security number of an external candidate. If it is all based on the requirement, like we can still achieve this. That's what I'm telling. Like we can still achieve.
Now, I understand. You're saying you can do it through a flex field. I was just curious if it actually was a standard field when the applicant applies. Sounds like
Yeah, we have.
it's not.
Yeah,
You
but
can-
sorry. In recruiting, we don't have that field. Like, but whereas in HR, like HR for all the internal employees, we have all the personal information, and of course, the social security number is displayed. So we have to integrate with HR so that to get the social security number. For example, if you are posting a requisition for an internal candidate.
Okay. Charlotte, did you have a follow up, or you're good on that one?
Yes, so as it relates to requisitions, I'm not sure, so my question is there a mass upload tool that Oracle provides?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Mass upload for requisitions. So instead of posting one requisition at a time, HISD here, we may want to post 100 positions at one time. So we currently use a mass upload tool. Is there something that Oracle has that would substitute for what we do today?
Like we have, like you mean to say, like posting a multiple requisition?
Yes, at one time, yes.
At one time, posting multiple requisition.
So like, let's say, and correct me if I'm wrong, Charlotte, but let's say I had a template
Yeah.
for requisitions, right? And somebody updated like a spreadsheet or something with 100 job requisitions.
Okay.
Is there a way to import that spreadsheet into delivered Oracle tables as if you typed in, as if you created 100 requisitions manually?
Uh, either what we can do is like for this, like we have to use a template, like we have something called, there is a tool in HR where we can upload, or we can upload using SDL how many requisitions we want. Like we don't need to manually go ahead and create each and every requisition. Like for example, if we have 100 requisition to be created at one point, so like we have a template, we have an object for each for a requisition, for a job requisition. So there we can go and load it in the template, and we can load it in the system using HDL.
Is it HDL or
Yes, HDL.
SGL?
HDL.
SQL.
HDL.
Oh, okay.
Data. It's a data loader.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking, like when you do what you call it? When you do the conversion, right? When we're converting from, would you have to be a mass upload data that way, requisition?
Correct. That's what like we use it during data migration. We usually, the functional consultant, what we do is we just provide the template with all the columns for each and every object. So we get the data, and we usually validate data. We usually do the validation and data cleansing, all those things, so that like we also check the format. The format is correct. So once that is done, then we just load it using SDL.
Okay. All right, Charlotte, you got any other ones? Irene's really quiet. I was expecting Irene to.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my turn.
Okay, you got 4 minutes. You got 4
minutes.
Go ahead.
Okay, the first one that we were talking about just now, the candidates being uploaded, like being injected, right, to the new system. Because right now, all the candidates' data is in our success factors.
Okay.
So you say that we used HDL to insert all the candidates into the new platform, into Oracle?
No. Yeah, before that, like we have to do the data mapping. Like we cannot just directly do it. Like since it is an SAP HCM system, we have to compare. We have to compare both the system, and then we have to do the data mapping, all the data validation. Then like we have a separate object file for loading the candidate information. So after doing the data mapping, we can load it. We have a template for that in HCM Cloud.
Okay, that's good. And then the other one that I don't want to scare you, but we have a lot of application templates, because here in our district, when candidate apply to the job, they cannot be just a quick apply. We have a lot of questionnaires that we ask them, part of application template. Is that the same, or have you done those kind of things?
Same.
Like creating a long application template. So there's an application template and there's a job requisition template. Is that correct?
Correct. Like
familiar?
Yeah, same. Like while creating a questionnaire, like creating a requisition, we can attach the questionnaire. Here, like that is a separate functionality where the recruiting administrator or recruiting manager will go ahead and create a list of questionnaire, and we can assign that questionnaire to the requisition. So whenever a candidate apply for a job, he or she should be able to view those questionnaire and we can fill it.
Good, that's good. Because we have a lot of complex mapping between the job requisition. Like we have job category of teachers. Teachers have this kind of set of questionnaires. Campus leaders, which is principals, have these kind of questionnaires.
Correct.
Admin people like us in IT maybe have different sets. So a lot of bus driver have different sets. Okay, just to let you know that if let's say you're familiar with those, I'm glad.
Yeah.
But then the other thing also for SAP in success factors, we have CPR. So we were the reason earlier Alex was mentioning about the pool. What happened here is like for teachers, right? We have a lot of campuses in our district. We have over 250 campuses. However, for like teachers, they want teachers to just apply one big, like a parent requisition.
Oh,
They
okay.
call it pool. Yes. So then, but then, so they apply there so that the recruiters will only do a selection in that, in just one, instead of 250 math teacher requisitions. You know what I'm saying? Because we have 250 campuses, each campus needs math teacher, for example.
Oh,
The
okay.
recruiters cannot do selection for all 250, right? They
Correct.
only want to do a selection in the pool. However, we need to have some kind of automation behind the scenes where, if let's say me, I apply to math teacher in, let's say, in Lamar High School, okay?
Correct.
But my application also will have to show up automatically in this pool requisition. Is there such a tool? Are you familiar with that kind of tool in Oracle? Because in SuccessFactors we have CPI.
Yeah.
Some kind of
Yeah, correct. In HCM Cloud, in Recruiting Cloud, like we have a concept called recruiting types. Say, for example, recruiting types are nothing but like, as you mentioned, like we have something called part-time faculty, full-time faculty, professors. So these are all comes under recruiting type. So for each and every recruiting type, like whenever we create a requisition, and we can attach whenever we create a questionnaire, we can attach those questionnaire to a particular recruiting type. So whenever you create a requisition for a particular recruiting type, so these questionnaire will get displayed based on the recruiting type.
Yeah, I know, but then like I say, if let's say somebody apply to a position requisition, but also to the parent requisition. I don't know if in Oracle do they have a parents and child requisition relationship, that kind of thing, or not?
No,
Are you familiar?
like
have you
in
have you
Oracle,
configured that?
yeah, in Oracle we have only job requisition, position requisition, then of course the blank requisition, or from the existing requisition you can create another requisition. The recruiter don't need to go and fill the details once again from the beginning. So if you opt for the existing requisition, you can pull the data from the requisition whichever you want, the recruiter want. So these are some of the features which we have in HCM Cloud: job, position, blank requisition.
So Oracle doesn't have like a parent requisition, like a pool or evergreen. Actually, SuccessFactors isn't just the word evergreen requisition.
Oh, okay. No, in Oracle we don't have that.
No, you don't have that.
Yeah.
So you don't. But what kind of automation tools have you configured inside the Oracles? Like let's say to sort of the movement, like let's say like, in SuccessFactors we have called business rule. For example, something will trigger that it will move the candidate automatically to a different disposition status inside a position.
Yeah, that is.
Configure those.
We have a concept called fast formula in Oracle. So it's just like coding, or like using that, I've automated many requirement, for based on the client in the candidate selection process, for if you want, or if you want to skip from screening to the next level, so we can do that using this concept called fast formula in Oracle. So there we have a predefined condition which needs to be set using that, like I've done. I've automated many such process in Oracle Recruiting Cloud.
So you meant to say business rules?
No, it's not. Yeah, it's kind of rules, writing rules. It will be like mostly like a PL SQL code.
Okay.
And also, like you mentioned about opportunity marketplace, that's for the internal candidates,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Have you configured those? I mean, is that linked to the requisition?
We don't need to configure opportunity marketplace. It is a certain privileges which needs to be assigned to the existing role, mainly for employees, for internal employees. That once you assign that privilege to the particular role, the employees or line managers they will have access to opportunity marketplace. It's just a privilege.
Using that you can attach to job requisition. Like let's say if a certain job requisition wants to be advertised to outside candidate, the internal candidate also can see it and then can apply, right?
Yeah.
That's okay. And then you're talking about recruiting.
And that's
booster.
sorry,
Has-
an internal candidate cannot see all the jobs, because that's what, like, if an internal candidate has been assigned to that particular requisition, only then he will have access to that requisition in the opportunity marketplace. Whereas the internal candidates can open the opportunity marketplace from his or her system. But whereas, like, in order to see that particular requisition, then the internal candidate has to be assigned for that under that requisition.
Okay, so if let's say they got, they got offered, can we configure that to be transferred, because that's what the terminology, it can be transferred employee, right?
Correct.
Okay, from one. Okay. And then in terms of recruiting booster, is there a feature in there for campaign event? Because we do a lot of job fairs here for teachers, and it could be thousands of
Okay.
participants. Okay. So have you
Yeah,
configured those kind of events?
Campaign, that is like while configuring the job application flow, like we have to do, like whether the employees, the internal if the external candidate is ready to receive any marketing email. So that for that, like we have a feature called campaign opt-in, that again, that comes under the recruitment content library. So there we can go and configure.
Okay, so you've done that before. So this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like, if let's say we want to shoot the emails, MS or SMS, right?
Correct.
Okay, to all these, to invite them to an event, right? And then let's see, is there a QR code that generated so they can register and they can show up, and they can will all the information flow all the way to the candidate profile? No? Let's say like I registered to an event. You can configure those. Have you
No,
done those?
QR code, those things, it's not available in Oracle Cloud.
not?
No, it's not.
Oh.
Maybe we can
Right.
expect in the
SMS?
future we can
Yeah.
we can check with Oracle, like slowly they are releasing all the advanced feature, like every quarter. We come up with the new features from Oracle. So like maybe we can expect this in the future very soon.
Okay, well, I think I have one more item to ask you. For offer, we over here for offer process, sometimes we like, for example, like, let's say, we're interested to somebody, let's say a principal interested to hire me, and we would sometimes in our system we would like to be more flexible, like, okay, the principal will notify our compensation team, okay, they're gonna hire Irene with this salary, and then there's another workflow to go to approval to some division lead, that kind of thing. Have you configured offer workflow? It's Oracle flexible enough to do
That is
workflow inside the process?
that we can do. That is like internal transfer, like if a person's grade gets changed, or if he applies for another requisition and his grade or position might get changed. So for that, like I have done this in the past.
Okay, Alex, I think that's all for now.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions?
Oh yeah, I haven't asked onboarding, but I know that
I was going to ask the question about onboarding. If you can explain, or if you have familiarity with configuring onboarding tasks.
Yeah, like
onboarding journeys.
Journeys.
And if you've implemented any like ad hoc tasks or custom tasks for specific employee groups or audiences, specifically like ad hoc tasks or forms that we can push to specific groups or audiences.
Like we have same as you mentioned, like we have something called Journeys in Oracle HCM Cloud. It got released 2 years back. Before that, like we don't have that Journeys. We have something called onboarding task, offboarding task, pre-boardings, all those things. So in the recent past, like we had something called Journeys. So under that, like we just go ahead and create offboarding, onboarding task. Whereas like we can attach all these questionnaires in the onboarding task, and we have something called, as I mentioned earlier, AOR. So using that, like if we attach that AOR to any candidate or any employee, then what will happen is like this will get triggered to their email ID, so that they can go ahead and fill a questionnaire and they can perform the onboarding task or offboarding task, whatever.
So the onboarding it can be set up to connect with the Department of Homeland Security, right? For the E-Verify, for the employment authorization. The Oracle has that feature.
What is the feature name you mentioned?
The feature, like, no, I mean, it will attach. You know how sometimes in success factors, the onboarding is connected to the Department of Homeland Security, or the Social Security Office, the government website, so that it will authorize somebody quickly that they are, if they are Social Security, even the employment authorization. It's
Authorization, yeah.
have that?
Yes, we do have that feature, like in the journeys, that is one of the
Journey,
tasks.
okay.
Like we have many such feature, so all these things, something like recommending an employee, so all those things which we have in journeys, whereas the email will be triggered to them, even the email will get triggered to the external party, so that they can recommend or they can provide reference. So those things can be done.
All right, any other questions? Okay, sounds like a no. Okay, Siva, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, like I have a couple of questions. The first thing is, what is the historical data like we have currently in SAP HCM system, because that will be, like we'll have a decades of historical data, but I just want to know, because that will help to get a clear picture about for migrating data from SAP to HR HCM Cloud.
I think that's a question for you, Irene.
Is that about the candidate? We have a lot of candidates, and
Okay.
then like I say, we have using Eightfold. We have a call it job cards. So at one point, a candidate can apply to multiple job requisition at one time. So we have, I think it's about I would say over 100,000 applications.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot. And then since we are government entities, right?
Yeah,
So
okay.
we are required to keep all those.
And since like you have 270 plus schools in Texas, I guess, then of course then the record should be very high.
Yes, we have over 250 schools.
Yeah.
Yes. So about over 25,000 employees.
Oh, okay. So the historical records are still maintained, right? Like almost more than a decades of records are still maintained in the system. And again, like we have to migrate everything.
Correct. Yeah. With success factors, we only start implementing 2023.
Oh, okay.
So, but then before that, we're in AppleTrack. So the AppleTrack data we have it in a different database, we'll call it. But yes, we would like. I mean, HR already told us that we would like to have all the success factor candidates information migrated over. I'm not sure if they can keep a candidate number or it's gonna have to start over. Can we keep candidate ID number in Oracle? Is that customizable? Candidate ID?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay.
Like either it can be incremental or we can give candidate number manually. So either of that is possible.
And like I said, we have a lot of application templates. Over 36 job categories. Yes.
Okay.
So in each of them have each. Yeah.
Yeah, if that is the case, If that is the case, we cannot set the candidate number as manual. Since we have more candidates, then it has to be automated. So it will take the next number from the current number. That will get triggered automatically. The
Okay.
candidate number. We don't need to mention the candidate number manually.
Okay, that's fine.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I'm good, Alex.
Okay.
Good.
Hey, HISD team, I've updated the spreadsheet where we put our comments. If you could go in and put your thoughts on Shiva. Shiva, good job.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Pleasure.
Thanks for
Yeah,
your time and
pleasure.
thanks for all your time. For giving me this
Yeah,
opportunity.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Have a
thank
great
you.
evening. Thanks. Bye bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a nice
Bye.
weekend too.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
You too.
You too. Thank you.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.